Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 31 of the Foot Basket Podcast. I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad you tuned in, that you tapped into this episode. If you're a new viewer, welcome. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, that you continue to tap into Foot Basket Podcast. Videos will come out weekly every Tuesday at 12 p.m. So continue to tap into that. There's also an Instagram as well that you can follow. It's called Foot Basket Podcast on Instagram. So you could just go tap into that to stay updated with all Foot Basket Podcast things related. Hope you enjoyed this video. We're finally going back into the NFL. NFL season will be soon. I'm so excited. I was thinking about it today and looking through some of the notes I have, and it just made me excited for this NFL season that's to come. We're gonna be going over some of these trades and signings that kind of went on, and then we're going to be putting that into a tier list. We'll just be going back and forth between the two tabs that I'm going to have open. I'm excited to just talk NFL. I know there's a lot of NBA buzz that's going around, but there's also a lot of stalling going around as well, with LeBron not being signed, and teams are kind of just waiting right now. No big trade that really happened since the last time I spoke to you guys. So I think it's time for the NFL to finally get their love. And I'm excited for this NFL season. I'm actually super excited to watch the football. It'll be less, almost maybe like a month from now. I think it's like a little over a month from today, or from when this video is getting posted. So I'm excited for some football. But let me get this tab open for you guys, and we can start on the tier list. That's also what I'm gonna be doing today as well. If you have any quality issues, hit that settings button in the top right. You can change the quality to 1080 pixels. That's what I'm filming at. I know that YouTube automatically does 360, so you can switch that as well. I first want to give all the glory to God. Allow me to be here. Allow me to do this podcast, to continue to grow it, continue to pursue it. I'm so grateful, and that it just continues to grow. I'm excited to see what God is gonna do with this podcast and how it's gonna grow. I'm excited. I'm excited for this football season. I'm excited for this NBA season. A lot's going on. But here is the tier list. It's from tiermaker.com. It's one I usually use. Has all the NFL teams. You see, I have Rams, great, good, mid, pretty bad, and the trash can. I'm gonna be ranking these teams based on how I think they're gonna perform this upcoming season. And we could just get started now. So I'm gonna be switching over between here and here, just so we could talk about some of the signings and stuff that's been going on, and to refresh both our, not just my minds, but as well as you viewers' minds as well. So let's get into. We're gonna start with the Buffalo Bills. It's gonna be the first team. One of the biggest signings, DJ Moore, was a great. It was a trade. Sorry, not a signing, but a trade. Definitely needed some help in that wide receiver room, and it's just gonna make this team better. I guess Dawson Knox also signed a new 3-year contract. Some of these old linemen, I don't know. And Bradley Chubb also signed a 3-year, $43 million deal, which isn't bad. Bradley Chubb is a good edge rusher. They also got this is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I thought this was the other Gardner-Johnson. Damar Hamlin re-signed. Shout out Damar Hamlin. But of course, just the biggest thing is just signing or acquiring DJ Moore. So with that in mind, I'm gonna have the Bills as. I'm gonna put the Bills to have a good season this year. Because I know once playoffs hit, I think the Bills are gonna have a great playoff game and have a great playoff run, potentially Super Bowl run. I think they just have that clutch and that that chip on their shoulder that they've been losing in the playoffs multiple years. I think this is finally the year that they can make something shake. I think the playoffs are gonna be a great team to watch. I might move them to great, but for now I'm having them good, because there's a lot of teams that I'm thinking about that I want to put in great as well. Let's go to the next team, the Miami Dolphins. You know, they bring in Malik Willis, which when Malik Willis played in that little bit low stunt when Jordan Love was out, Malik Willis was balling. I forgot how old Malik Willis is, but he's not too old. Mobile quarterback. I think this is the right move to get out of that Tua situation, because Tua was turning that ball over. Looks like they signed a lot of guys as well, a lot of 1-year deals. So this is probably just practice players type of guys. And we kind of look at some of these names. I don't think really any of them look familiar. I mean, they got Devon Achane on a 4 extension, which I think is a great. I think that's a great move from them. They got Jalen Reagor, which is a third string or whatever. Tyreek Hill won't be there next year as well. They lost Jalen Waddle. So I think this is Miami is going into this kind of rebuild direction, and having maybe Malik Willis be a bridge QB, or maybe we'll see how good Malik Willis goes. I'm gonna put Miami Dolphins pretty bad. I think they're gonna have a pretty bad season. I don't expect them to get too many wins. So yeah, that's where I have Miami. The next is gonna be the Patriots. They acquire AJ Brown. They signed Romeo Doubs to a four-year deal. Draymond Jones signs a three-year deal as well, so that's a good pickup. Kevin Byard signs a 1-year deal as well. So Elijah Vera Tucker is someone that I don't know O-lineman too much, but that's a name I've heard before. So then you're gonna have Will Campbell coming off his first year, going into his second season. Of course, lose Stephon Diggs, but basically replace him with AJ Brown. So I think this is a good replacement. But with Patriots having a way harder schedule than they did last year, I think we're really gonna see how good the Patriots are. And I don't think they're gonna have the great season that they did had last season. So I'm gonna put them in good. I think they're gonna have a good season somewhere around the Bills. I agree with this so far. That's where I have the Patriots right now. Next team, the New York Jets. They get Geno Smith to basically probably again be a bridge quarterback until they are able to draft one and somewhere in the first round within the next 2-3 years. I don't think Geno Smith is a terrible bridge quarterback. I mean, he played terribly in Las Vegas, but he had a great season in Seattle. I know Geno Smith I think he started with the Jets. So we'll see how he goes. Breece Hall signs a 3-year, $45 million deal. So that's just basically his extension. So I think that's a great extension for them. They were able to bring in Breece Hall, which I'm surprised because I don't know if Breece Hall wants to play winning football or not, but he's not going to play here. And especially with a 3-year deal, I don't think they're going to be having winning football in the next 3 years. They also keep Garrett Wilson, which is really good. But I think the Jets did exactly what they needed to, which was to get off of the Quentin Williams and the Sauce Gardner and get as much as you can. And they got a lot of first-round picks. They also brought in Minkah Fitzpatrick as well, so just a vet safety as well. So we'll see how the team ends up doing, but I'm going to put the New York Jets in trash. I don't expect them to get really any wins this season. Sorry, Jet fans. Hey, but they're doing exactly what they need to do, which they got as much draft compensation as they could from the Quentin Williams and the Sauce Gardner trade. So I think they're going to be going in the right direction with multiple first-round picks in the upcoming future. So I'm excited to see what the Jets – I think the Jets are gonna come up soon. They just got to go through the slow and terrible parts of the season. The next team is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. They have a new head coach now, so that's something to put into account as well. Not a lot was done. I mean, they bring in Calais Campbell, which I think is literally just for the vibes. Trey Hendrickson is a big, get. They were going to bring in Max Crosby, but somehow that guy failed his physical, which I think is cap. But Trey Hendrickson is a great pickup as well. Had a great season last year, had a great season before that. Big loss for the Bengals, but I think it's a great pickup for the Baltimore Ravens. So with that in mind, I think I put Baltimore in great. I think when Lamar came back from his injury, that team was a great team. I think they were definitely a great team, and they just basically added Trey Hendrickson. I know Derrick Henry's getting a little bit older. I'm trying to look at before I do this who I'm going to put in my. I think I might put Baltimore in good as well. I might move them up. Between them and the Bills are potentially being moved up right now. We'll leave them in good. We'll see how the tier list continues to shape up. Cincinnati Bengals, I'm excited for Bengals football this season. Hopefully, Burrow just stays healthy. They're going to have a great season. They brought in Dexter Lawrence, brought in Jonathan Allen, which is important because his defense is what they really needed. Also brought in Boye Mafe from the Seahawks, which he was a underrated key piece to that Seahawks defense. I brought in some other guys, but I don't know. Oh, this is a re-sign. This is a 1-year contract. But beefing up that D line is something that's super important that they needed to do. So I'm excited to finally see this good defense continue with this offensive playmaking they have with, um, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T Higgins. I'm excited to see how this team's gonna play. I'm putting them in great. I think the Bengals are gonna have a great season. Um, with them just beefing up that D line. Of course, we haven't seen this defense play together yet, but just the talent that they acquired, I think will be enough to have a great season. I think they already have a good season without all those signings defensively, but adding those signings will definitely help a lot. So I think they're gonna have a great season. Cleveland Browns, they get Jared Verse. They get as much as they could from, or they got some stuff from the Myles Garrett value. Let's see what else. I know Tevin Jenkins is a guy I know, or Elgin Jenkins is a guy I know. This is a guy I know. 2 years, $24 million deal. So it sounds like a pretty financial friendly deal. They kept some of their guys like a Harold Fannin, like a, of course, like the rookie contract deals and stuff like that. So I think, them losing Myles Garrett is a big blow, but I think they're also kind of going in the same direction as the Jets that they need to go. Unfortunately, with that brings them coming to a trash, but I think it's something that they definitely need to do. Also heard that Deshaun Watson will be playing quarterback this season. We haven't seen Deshaun Watson play quarterback in how many years, because of that, all that, the massage stuff that he got going on, but Deshaun Watson is supposed to start this season with Stewart being the backup. So we'll see what direction they end up going as well when it comes to that quarterback room. They got to figure it out. But I have Cleveland Browns in trash. Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers last year. I hope the Steelers kind of go in this direction where they use this as a bridge year, or not really a bridge year, but have your good season with Aaron Rodgers. Next year is your year that you need to basically tank or sell to try to get that high draft pick. They bring in Rico Dowdle, which is and they got him on a pretty friendly deal as well. 2 year, $12.25 million. Even though running backs barely get paid. They brought in Michael Pittman, which is a big acquisition. Cam Hayward basically re-signed. It's a lot of money for Cam Hayward because that boy getting old. But he's been there for a minute, so I guess that could be part of the deal as well. Darnell Savage isn't a bad pickup. Asante Samuel isn't a bad pickup. They've already had him, but be able to re-sign him is good. True, they even got Chris Boswell to sign a 5-year deal, so they gotta, even though that playoff, you know what I'm saying. I think the Steelers are gonna have a mid-season. This is what they've been doing since 2020, since Chase Claypool. Since Juju Smith-Schuster and them in 2020, they've been just mid every season. They maybe have had a good season, but this season I think they're just gonna be mid again, and hopefully they can drop down to this tier, start to sell a little bit and get those high draft picks. I think they're just gonna have a mid season. Next team is the Houston Texans. This is gonna be one of my favorite teams to watch this season, probably top 3. On basically a must watch every week. David Montgomery, a great pickup. I think it's gonna be a great pickup. Dalton Schultz gets the extension for 1 year. That's good as well. Wyatt Teller is a great pickup on the O-line. You're able to re-sign basically Will Anderson Jr., which is important. Danielle Hunter signs a 1-year extension. Azeez Al-Shaair signed a 3-year extension. They just brought in Reed Blankenship. Oh my goodness. We was talking about so much last season. At least I was on this podcast of how good and how historic this defense was, and for them to bring back everybody and even bring in a Reed Blankenship, and bring in David Montgomery on the offense. I think it's so important. And am I missing a wide receiver or no? I don't think they brought in a wide receiver. No, they didn't. Which is something that they needed to do. They needed to definitely tap into that wide receiver room. I don't know what Tank Dell's situation is looking like, because that offense was really their main point that they needed to work on. Bringing back all those offensive guys is definitely important because that's what the identity of this team was. But I have them having a great season. They're gonna be tough for my Broncos to try to beat in the playoffs. Excuse me, but I think they're gonna be up there with one of the better teams, one of the best teams in this league. this upcoming season. They're gonna be one of my favorite teams to watch. I'm excited. I'm excited for Texans football. Colts is in a weird place. They re-signed Daniel Jones, so they 2-year, $88 million. Oh my goodness, that could be worth it. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. They're basically saying they trust Daniel Jones, and I mean it's not a bad take. The Colts were having a amazing start of last season. They re-signed Alec Pierce, which is a good pickup. Re-signed Molly Cox. They basically just brought back their guys. Brought in what's his name, Sauce Gardner. So they basically have the same team. Hopefully, Daniel Jones can stay healthy this season. I have no idea where to put them though, because we don't know how Daniel Jones is gonna be coming back from the injury. I'm gonna put him in mid for now. I can't put him in good because there's just too many question marks when it comes around that quarterback room with Daniel Jones. How is he gonna play? How is he gonna come out the injury, stuff like that. And is that last season just a lightning in a bottle season? We're already truly a good team because this is the first season they were like, okay, like this team is one of the ones. So we'll see what the Colts do, but I'm gonna have them in mid. Next is the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I'm excited for as well. I don't think they're gonna have a great season, but they're definitely gonna be a fun team to watch. Travis Hunter coming back, seeing how they're gonna split his reps. How is he gonna be fully offense, fully defense? He's gonna still do both. They have Trayvon Walker signing a 4-year deal, which is a good signing. Besides that, they kind of just keep their guys. They didn't do a lot this offseason. Not much was done. They're just bringing back their team, and I think this team is good enough to stay in good. You see this team on your schedule, you can't just say it's an easy win. I think they're going to be a great team, especially if they stay healthy, which is what they were kind of unlucky with. They had a little injury bug last season. Hopefully they stay healthy this season. For the Tennessee Titans, they did a lot though. Oh my goodness, I gotta scroll a little bit for the Tennessee Titans. They brought in some backup quarterbacks. Mitch Trubisky is a good vet to bring in. Don't know who Hendon Hooker is. Wando Robinson signs a 4-year deal. Some of these offensive linemen, I don't really know too much. Yeah, I don't know any of these. Jeffrey Simmons basically just gets an extension, which is a good extension for Jeffrey Simmons, having that good D tackle on your line. He's not too old as well. John Franklin Myers gets a 3-year deal. Alontae Taylor is in a bad corner as well, signs a 3-year deal with them. So they're kind of saying that they're kind of out of that tanking, and they're trying to start building their team up, and they're trying to also just put a lot of trust in Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is going to have a better season than he did last season. All those turnovers had to have gotten to him throughout this offseason that he's definitely worked on. I mean, I'm hoping so. I still think they're going to have a pretty bad season, but I don't think they're going to be on a level of Jets and Browns. I think the Tennessee Titans are going to be a sleeper team. Not sleeper as in they're going to beat these teams, and you know what I'm saying? But I feel like every once in a while they're going to beat one of the, you know what I'm saying? And they're not going to have the amount of losses that these two teams are definitely going to have. So I got to take the Titans not being a super terrible team. My Broncos, bro, basically brought back our whole team, brought in Jalen Waddle, which is a great, I mean, we brought him in for a lot, but I mean, I think it's a must. I think that was, I don't know, like, because we had, thinking about the wide receiver room, that's a problem as well, is we have so many we just have too many wide receiver 3 type of guys. There's no, I mean, Jalen Waddle is a great wide receiver 2 behind Courtland Sutton, but like, one of the wide receiver 3 guys could have definitely had that jump into that wide receiver 2 spot, and we could have used that package that we sent to Miami for maybe something on the O-line, something defensively. I know like O-line isn't as big as of a name as a Jalen Waddle or stuff like that, but which our O-line was great as well. But just I don't know. We have like Lil Jordan Humphrey is somebody. I'm trying to think of some of these other wide receivers that are in our wide receiver room, but I feel like we had so many just kind of those, like Marvin Mims is another guy. I think we're gonna have a great season though. It's gonna be another great season. We would have went to the Super Bowl if Bo Nix didn't get injured, and I stand on that. We almost went to the Super Bowl with Jarrett Stidham. I think it won't make the Super Bowl if called Bo Nix. Your boy's tripping. Chiefs bringing Kenneth Walker. I think the deal isn't too bad. It's a little expensive after He got Kenneth Walker got his bag. Shout out to Kenneth Walker. I didn't know this actually. Re-signed on a 3-year deal for Travis Kelce, worth up to 57 mil. Oh my goodness! I don't even think Travis Kelce had that good of a season last season, to be honest with you. L'Jarius Sneed, signs a 1-year deal, which he's not a bad corner. And to be honest with you, with Patrick Mahomes coming back, I think this team is still going to be good. I don't think there's, as long as you have Mahomes and you have Andy Reid, this team's going to be good regardless. No matter what. I mean, of course, if you put them around like 15-year-olds, it's not going to be as good. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think this team is going to be good no matter what if you have those two together. Which I think Mahomes might have got an extension last season or a season before that. So he's going to be here for a while. Shout out that organization. The Las Vegas Raiders. Hey, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I put Las Vegas Raiders having a top 5, top 10 off season. Let's type out some of these people that they put in. They brought in Jalen Naylor, which is a good wide receiver pickup. Kirk Cousins being basically maybe a starting quarterback or a backup quarterback to kind of mentor Fernando Mendoza until he's ready to start. Which it's a 1-year deal, which I think is perfect. Also includes a 2-year, $80 million option. Okay, so they have an option as well, a team option. Brought in Tyler Linderbaum, which is a great offensive line pickup. Quay Walker is a great pickup. Kwity Paye is pretty good. Nakobe Dean is a great defensive pickup. Re-signing Eric Stokes was very important as well. Teron Johnson, I don't know too much about. They traded a 7-round pick and a 6th-round pick, and Teron Johnson, I don't know too much about him, but some of his defensive pickups, that offensive lineman with Tyler Linderbaum was a great pickup. Jalen Naylor was a great pickup, and we have now a backup quarterback to mentor, even if he starts for now until I think they had a great offseason. I think they're still going to be. Did he go trash? Brock Bowers, Max Crosby? No, they're not trash. They still have some talent on that roster that can get them some wins. Max Crosby, Brock Bowers, things of that nature. Yeah, I gotta put him. I think they still have Josh Jacobs. Oh no, I just said Josh Jacobs. They still have Ashton Jeanty as well. Then yeah, I'm gonna put them in pretty bad. They're almost mid, to be honest. They're almost mid, but I'm worried about that quarterback room. To be honest with you, that's the only thing I'm really worried about. Next team is gonna be the Chargers. They bring in Trey Lance. Alec Ingold signs a 2-year deal with them. David Njoku signs a 1-year deal. Tyler Biadasz, I think that's how you say it, actually, is a great pickup. Cole Strange is a name that I know. Khalil Mack resigns, even though that boy is pushing 40. I ain't know because he was still hooping. Derwin James resigns, which is a great pickup, even though he's getting old as well. I think this team is going to be another. I think they're kind of just going to run back kind of the same year. They're going to be a good team, especially during the regular season. I think they're gonna be really hot. I just think that the offensive line was such a struggle. They bring in Cole Strange. They bring in Tyler Biadasz. I'm gonna keep it in good. The offensive line pickups is something that's a plus because that's something that they were struggled with the most last season. It was like really, really bad. They have Joe Alt as well. So I'm excited to see how that Chargers offense is going to look with that O-line being beefed up a little bit. So we'll see how they end up playing. Next team is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. Bringing Javonte Williams, he re-signs. George Pickens gets franchise tagged, which we saw early in the offseason. Marquez Valdes-Scantling sounds a 1-year deal. They get Rashawn Gary in a trade for only a 4th-round pick, so I don't think I think that's a great trade for them because their defense is their biggest problem that they had last season. They were putting up 40, 45 points a game, but letting like 50 get scored on them, which I had talked about multiple times last season as well. Jalen Thompson signs a 3-year deal, maximum of 36 mil, so that's not a bad pickup as well. Kobe Durant, I don't think this is a Kobe Durant. That's like, or I can't. There's a defensive corner or safety. His last name is Durant. I don't know if it's this one though. D Winters as well is not bad. It's not bad as well. I like the defensive pickups that they did. being able to franchise tag George Pickens is also important as well that they need to do. So I think they had a good defensive offseason, which is what they needed to do. So with that, I think I'm gonna put them in good as well. Let me double check. Okay. Yeah, I think even though the good looks like a lot right now, I think it's gonna start evening out. Looking at some of these teams, it's definitely gonna even out. Next team is gonna be New York Giants. Oh my goodness, they did a lot too. Or probably a lot of nothing, but they did they did a lot. Bringing in, or I don't know if this is a re-sign, Patrick Ricard. No, he was on the Ravens last season. So bringing in Patrick Ricard as a fullback isn't bad, especially when you have Cam Scatterby at your running back. You kind of run the I form, things of that nature. So that's not bad. Odell Beckham just goes for the vibes. Darnell Mooney sounds a 1-year deal up to 10 mil, so that's not bad. Drew Smith-Schuster goes to the Giants. Isaiah Likely, which is a great pickup, signed 3-year, $40 million. I think that's a great pickup as well. It could be worth at the 47, but $40 million for 3 years, I think is a really good pickup for Isaiah Likely. Evan Neal is a good re-signing. He's a good offensive lineman for them. Tremaine Edmonds is a good pickup defensively. 3 years, $36 million, which that's good as well. Okay, I like this offseason by them signing 1-year deal for Greg Newsome. I really like this offseason. With that, I'm gonna put them at mid. I don't think they're up for good yet, and I don't think they're gonna have a pretty bad season. I think they're gonna be around these teams. Yeah, I agree with this. Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterby. Hopefully they stay healthy. They're gonna have a great season. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. Philadelphia Eagles, I think had an amazing offseason. Getting off of AJ Brown, even though like it seems like a negative with how much talent he has, it was such a positive with how much kind of like drama that he was bringing to this team. Allowing Devonta Smith kind of be that wide receiver one. Kai Lemon kind of moves up to in the depth chart as well, as I've heard he's been cooking. Bringing in Marquise Brown isn't a bad deal or a bad pickup as well. 1 year, $6.5 million. So it's just a 1-year contract. You can bring him back if you like him. If you're not, it's just a 1-year deal. Let me see some of this. They brought in Tariq Woolen, which is like, you know what I'm saying? It's a 1-year deal as well. So it's kind of the same thing where like if you feel like if you know you've coached him well and he's had a great season, you just bring him back again, or you at least try to. But for this season, I think it's a great pickup. I think, in my opinion, is the Eagles are gonna have a good season as well. They're almost at great, even though they had a very lackluster, disappointing season this past season. I think they're gonna figure it out. With AJ Brown being off the team, I think they're almost at great. They're almost at great, but I can't put them fully up there. Next, we have the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels is coming fully healthy into this season. Laramie Tunsil signs a 2-year deal, which is, oh my goodness. Oh, it's extension, but oh my goodness, $60 million extension. Oh my, yo, shout out Laramie Tunsil, bro. Chris Paul who? Yo, Chris Paul the same height as some of these guards, which is crazy, bro. Odafe always 4-year, $100 million deal. That's not $25 million a year is not bad. That's not bad, and it's up to 100, so it could be 68. That's not bad at all. Nick Cross isn't a bad signing as well. Amik Robertson, that's not a bad signing. 16 mil is not a lot of money. I like their offseason. I do. That offense is just a little scary for me. Of course, they have Terry McLaurin, and J.D. McDaniels, which is a great 1-2, but I think the offense is still a little shaky for me. In my opinion, I think they're gonna have a mid-season. I'm gonna put them in mid. They had that great playoff run when they beat the Lions. But ever since then, it's been kind of mid. They haven't made a big we're buying in for the season, we're buying in for the Super Bowl, stuff like that. So I kind of want to see them do that. Next, we have the Chicago Bears. I'm excited for this team as well, bro. Had a great season. One of the greater stories in the NFL season last season. Let me kind of look at some of these names they ain't signing. Devin Bush is a name that I know. 3-year, $30 million, so $10 million a year. That's not bad. 3 years is a lot because I believe Devin Bush is a little older. Kobe Bryant. This is the Bryant I was thinking about. 3-year, $40 million deal. That's good as well. They kind of keep their people. I'm basically seeing signs with Bears, signs 1 year, re-sign. Yeah, they're kind of just keeping what they had. They bring in Garrett Bradbury with a trade, only for a 5th-round pick, which I've heard of Garrett Bradbury. I don't know how good he is, but I've heard that name before. Chicago. Chicago. And I think analytically, this team isn't good. Like, if you look at analytics, but like the eye test and watching them and the vibe, like they have so much energy and so much grit on this team. It's almost great. I think they're almost at a great season. Chicago Bears. Are they gonna have a great season? 'Cause I got this team there. This team, they got their own freaking category. This team is kind of there too. This team is there. You know what? To be honest with you, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the Bills are going to have a great season. The Ravens are going to have a great season. I think between the Eagles and the Bears, like looking at this matchup, I think I do have Eagles over Bears. I think I'm going to keep it like this. Because I think I have the Ravens. I have the Ravens over the Eagles. I have the Ravens over the Bears. I will keep it like this. I like this better. This looks better. Okay. Detroit Lions, bro. Y'all disappointed me last season, bro. Y'all disappointed me. Y'all brought in Isaiah Pacheco on a 1-year deal, basically replaced David Montgomery. They re-signed Jack Campbell, $81 million extension. Dang. Malcolm Rodriguez re-signs. Avonte Maddox re-signs. Rocky Sin re-signs. They kind of just brought back their people, which is good as well. Cade Mays, 3-year, $25. I don't know if Cade Mays sounds too familiar to me. Well, Detroit had a very unhealthy season last season. They're gonna have a healthy season this season. If they do play healthy, if they have a fully healthy season and they play good, this is a great team in the NFL. I'm scared of the Jared Goff slump games. That's gonna mess them up the most. I'm gonna put them at good. They have so much potential to be at great. I'm gonna put them at good for now. But boy, that offense. That defense was really good that year that they almost made it to the Super Bowl as well. That defense was great. So we'll see how that defense plays coming off those injuries that they had kind of had. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers. Didn't do too much. Brought Benjamin St. Just. Signs a 2-year deal. That's pretty cheap. I don't know if that boy don't hoop no more, but they brought in Zaire Franklin on a trade, which he's not bad. Javon Hargrave is a name that I know. 2-year, $23 million deal. They didn't do too much though. I think they had a pretty good season last year. I think I'm gonna put them in good again. I think they're gonna have a good season. It's a lot of good teams here. Is there any teams I can drop down? Nah, not really. If I did drop down a team as honest as possible, it is the Patriots. But I don't think the Patriots are on the same level as the Giants or they're not on the same level as Commanders. Commanders could almost go to pretty bad if I was gonna do that. Next team, the Minnesota Vikings, brings in Kyler Murray. So they have this quarterback problem with J.J. McCarthy, Kyler Murray. Who's going to start? Who's going to play? I think Kyler Murray is going to be the starter. I think he's going to cook. I think he's going to play great this season. It's only a 1-year deal, so if you don't like it, you kind of just stick with J.J. McCarthy until you decide to pick up a quarterback in the draft if you don't like him. Jawan Jennings comes here on a 1-year deal. Besides that, not too much going on. Re-signs Eric Wilson. I got the Vikings pretty bad this season. Justin Jefferson's going to do a lot. I don't know if Kyler Murray is going to be able to elevate this team much. I think there's just not a lot going on in Minnesota right now, in my opinion. Unless Kyler Murray actually balls out like crazy, like a Baker Mayfield type of season. And even then, I see them only going up to mid. I have them pretty bad. Next is the Atlanta Falcons. Brings in Tua. So now there's 2 lefty quarterbacks between Michael Penix and Tua. Who's going to start? Who's going to play? It's another situation again. Bijan Robinson's still there. Drake London signs This is a great contract. Signs 4-year, 141, 100 mil guaranteed, so it could go up to 150. I think that's a pretty good contract. Kyle Pitts only signs for 54, so that's not bad either. Jawan Taylor sounds like a name I've heard before. Only a 1-year deal. Looking at some of these names. Nah, I don't really know any of these names. They have Drake London, have Bijan Robinson. Quarterback room is kind of sus. Defense is kind of It's mid or pretty bad. It's mid or pretty bad. The quarterback room is scaring me, bro. It's scaring me. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have the Falcons pretty bad. With Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, the offensive talent on the team is crazy. I think because of that, I'm putting them in mid. I think they're the same level as like the Washington Commanders. I think, yeah, this is the right choice. At the Falcons at mid, definitely not up here. At the Falcons at mid. Next, Carolina Panthers. To be honest, when they played the Rams in that playoff game, they actually didn't play too bad. I was actually happy to see that it wasn't just a blowout. Bryce Williams, hopefully he has a way better season this upcoming season. I'm excited to see how he grows. They're bringing A.J. Dillon. He's a free agent, I guess. Jalen Coker, 3-year for $35 million contract. Rasheed Walker, nah. I don't know some of these names. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Phillips signs a 4-year, $120 million deal, so that's a great defensive pickup. Devin Lloyd is definitely getting old, but they also signed him as well. 3 years is a lot since that boy is old. Isaiah Simmons resigns. I like the Jalen Phillips pickup. We'll see how T-Mac grows as well. I have the Carolina Panthers at mid as well, though. They had a good season. They made the playoffs. I understand that. But I don't see them like better than any of these teams, bro. Patriots might drop down, gang. I might drop the Patriots down. I'm dropping the Patriots down. I don't care about the biasy and all the hatred, any of that. I'm dropping the Patriots down. Cause if Carolina versus Patriots play right now, I almost have Carolina. I basically have Carolina winning this game. I'm dropping the Patriots having a mid-season. They're gonna have a mid-season. New Orleans Saints. Again, they're kind of just on that, upbringing to out of the rebuild and stuff like that. Tyler Shuck didn't have a bad second half of his season, so there's not a lot going on in New Orleans. I'm gonna put them I'm putting them trash. Cause I think the Vikings are a better team. I think the Raiders. I might drop the Raiders down low key. Oh my goodness, all these teams are terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Great beginning of the season. Second half of the season was kind of mid and slower. Bringing in Alex Anzalone, which is a great pickup. Bring in the edge from Miami, which I think he's going to be one of the rookies that start off just hot, and he's going to start off as a full NFL player already. Alex Anzalone, again, is a great pickup. Only 2 years, $17 million. That's not even bad either. Cade Otton re-signing is good. Kenneth Gainwell signs on a 2-year deal. Not a lot was done, but I think it's good enough to stay in good conversations. Yeah, like Tampa Bay versus Carolina, I think it's a great game. Tampa Bay versus New England, I think it's a great game. So I'm gonna have them in mid. Next team, Arizona Cardinals, bro. I don't even think I got much to look at. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, boys. They might have their own. They need to be all over here. I was looking at strength of schedules. The Arizona Cardinals have like a top 7 strength of schedule this season. Let's actually look it up. Cardinals schedule. Yo, that was bad freaking whatever it's called. Let's look at their schedule. Like, actually, let's lock in. First, they start out the first game against the Chargers. They play the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Giants, the Lions, the Rams, the Broncos, the Cowboys, the Seahawks again, the Rams again, the Chiefs, the Commanders, the Eagles, The Jets is a bad team. The Saints is a bad team. The Raiders is a bad team. They end up with the 49ers. I'm telling you, these are the only 3 games they have, in my opinion, they have a chance. No, none of these other teams. I think even the Commanders are beating them. The Giants, I think, are even beating them. Bro, how did they get this schedule, bro? NFL, why did y'all get the Cardinals this hard of a schedule? I know they had to play the Rams and the Seahawks 2 times a year, bro. And I forgot what the other team is. Let me double check what the other team is that's in that division. I think it's the 49ers. Yeah, they have to play the 49ers, the Rams, and the Chiefs, or the Seahawks 2 times a year. I understand that. Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys, bro, Broncos, gang, Lions. Bro, y'all could have given them a break. Bro. There was no break being given. No break being given here, bro. Yeah, sorry, Cardinal fans, but y'all boys is cooked. Next up, we got the Rams. Brought in Trent McDuffie, brought in Myles Garrett, and it's the same exact team. They got their own thing. They got their own category. That's just the truth. They were basically a Super Bowl favorite, almost went to the Super Bowl last season, and they just had the exact same team, except now they have a defensive player of the year and one of the better corners in the league. Top 15 definitely corner in the league. Yeah. They had their own thing, bro, unfortunately. Next up, we have the 49ers. Signed Mike Evans in a 3-year deal, which happened a minute ago, so I didn't forget about it, but dang, I forgot about that. Trent Williams signs a new extension. I kind of like that. He's getting old, but I kind of like that. Drake Greenlaw basically gets an extension as well, only $7 million. I like what the 49ers did. I like the wide receiver pickup of Mike Evans. I think they're gonna have a great season. They're definitely up there with these teams. And lastly, the Seahawks, they lose Kenneth Walker, basically replace him with Zach Charbonnet. That's kind of what I'm thinking they're gonna do. Rashid Shaheed resigns, which I think is a great signing because I think Rashid Shaheed is underrated. Excuse me, Jackson Smith and Jacob got that bag, gang. He resigns or gets an extension for 4 years. Got that bag, bro. They lost some defensive players like the Boye Mafe. Who else did they lose? Tariq Woolen, which is not like a crazy loss, but I think the Seahawks are gonna be another. They're gonna have another amazing season. They just came off a Super Bowl. They didn't lose too much. They lost a little bit defensively, but offensively they're still a great offensive team. But yeah, this is my. Let me double check if I want to change anything. Rams have their own category. I agree. Bengals, Texans, Broncos, Bills, Ravens, 49ers, Seahawks. I agree with this. Jaguars. I agree. Chiefs, Chargers, Cowboys. Chargers could almost drop, but I'm going to keep them here. They're definitely one of the lower teams than good. Cowboys, I think, is going to have a good season. Bears is almost higher than this. Eagles is almost higher than this. Lions and Green Bay, I think, is perfect. Steelers, mid. Colts, don't know. It's too much question marks. New York Giants, definitely mid. Washington, definitely mid. Atlanta, definitely mid. Almost could drop, but we'll put them here. Carolina, one of the better mid teams. They're almost that good, but they're definitely one of the better mid teams. Actually, but I see Carolina beating Steelers, Colts, Giants. Nah, I'm gonna keep them in mid. Patriots is probably one of the bigger things that people may not agree with. Buccaneers, I agree with. Miami, Tennessee, Raiders. But yeah, this is all right. This is my official 2026 NFL season tier list. Hey man, I think it's perfect. Y'all gonna see this upcoming season, and then my I guess dark horse team this season is gonna be the Texans. I think the Texans are gonna obliterate any type of expectations they have on them. I think they're gonna have one of the best top 3, top 4 teams in the NFL this upcoming season. I think it's gonna be Rams. I think it's gonna be Seahawks. I think it's gonna be Broncos. I think it's gonna be Texans that are gonna be the top 4 best teams, in my opinion. I think that's a fact. Bengals gonna be a close 5th. But hey man, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, bro, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate the love, man. Tap into next week's episode, Tuesday at 12 p.m. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Continue to tap into Full Basket Podcast. And go hit that. Go follow on Instagram too, bro. Why you not follow on Instagram, bro? I thank you for staying all the way. I will see you guys next week. Peace.